All right, welcome everyone. Good morning and thank you for joining us. We are here to kick off a month-long celebration of celebrating agriculture. And this is our 20th year, so lucky 20 in 2020 when we're forced to reevaluate and change everything that we've been doing successfully. But fortunately, our committee was up for the challenge. So we typically gather at the beautiful Woodstock Fairgrounds on the third Saturday after Labor Day every year for a beautiful event that brings together the community with local agriculturalists. It's a great family event. There's a live tour of Fairview Farms, and it really is just a magical, magical day to truly celebrate agriculture. So since we're not able to gather together in person in large groups this year, we knew that we needed to modify and reimagine our event. In this 20th anniversary year, canceling was not something that we were willing to do. So we have reimagined the event, mostly virtual. We are still encouraging and welcoming people who have farms and farm stands and stores, retail shops, equipment shops, and even consumers who just enjoy local agriculture to share videos with us and messages about how they connect with local agriculture. And that's how we're choosing to celebrate this year. And we're going to do it all month long for the entire month of September. And we do have a few other special events, including a virtual floral design course. And each weekend we'll be highlighting some different farms to push people in their direction, starting with Ekonk Hill Turkey Farm this coming weekend. And we also have some wonderful kids kits that would be spread around the last Green Valley. So we again are committed to celebrating agriculture in a new way this year. And it starts off with this event, so I'm so excited to welcome Governor Lamont and Lieutenant Governor Bysiewicz and Ag Commissioner Hurlburt and Lynn Weaver, who is the chair of our committee, and of course the Hermonots who have welcomed us here to their farm. And thank you all to the other special guests and elected officials for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us here to kick off this month's festivities. And of course, thank you to the rest of the Celebrating Agriculture Planning Committee who has worked so hard on reimagining and pivoting as we all have in this year. With that, I want to turn it over to Mr. Weaver for some remarks about the history of this event, and also to Rick and Katie Hermonot to share about their involvement. So, Rick, if you'd like to start.
Thank you, Rebecca. Good morning. I'd like to welcome again everybody to our farm, Ekonk Hill Turkey Farm. We're excited about this event today, and we're excited about what Celebrating Ag has decided to do in light of the COVID impact and not being able to have a live event. This is really great, and I think this is an awesome idea, having the month of September named Celebrating Agriculture Month in Connecticut. I was actually saying I hope we can see this happen as an annual thing. Every year in September we focus on celebrating agriculture for the whole month, but that's awesome. Our farm is a family farm. We started farming in Western Connecticut as a dairy and then moved over here and started turkeys about 20 years ago. But my wife and I are first generation farmer, and we started with 12 acres here, and 5 years ago we bought the farm next door, which includes the land we're standing on now, which added 348 acres, so we're up to 360 acres now. And we really enjoy having this property. It's a gorgeous piece of land. One thing that was really unique about it was when we bought it from the Frink family, and there's a plaque over there under the tree in front of the house right behind you that commemorates this farm as a century farm, but it's more than a century farm. It was granted to the Frinks as a king's grant in 1696. So for 317 years they owned this farm. And it still was a Frink that we bought it from. So it was a Frink for 17 years. We bought it from them 5 years ago. We were the first people to ever actually buy this land since this country was settled. So it's pretty neat history. But it's a beautiful piece of land, and we feel honored to be the caretakers of it. And there is a development rights easement on it. So the state of Connecticut holds an easement on it, so it cannot be developed, which really is pretty special that this property will always be open space. I'm going to introduce Katie. The family here is my wife and I, but the real ones, the key ones, are our two daughters, Ashley and Katie, who run the farm. We just try to stay out of their way. Actually, my wife doesn't. She works her butt off. I try to stay out of the way. Katie and Ashley run the store and run all the marketing and are involved in the production and processing. So I'm going to introduce Katie to tell you a little bit about our farm.
Hi everyone. Thank you for coming out today. We're honored that you wanted to host this at our farm here in Sterling. Sterling doesn't make the press very often, so thanks for coming by. Thank you, Lieutenant Hermonot, for coming back. If you remember, we pardoned a turkey here this November. That was a very nice event. So my dad said it all. It's really a family affair here. The land that we farm was not originally in our family, but we take it to heart and we keep the history of the farm alive. It means a lot to us, and I think the Frank family probably appreciates that too. But I feel like I'm part of the family. This land has become part of our blood. On the farm day to day, we have about 2,000 to 3,000. I don't know. I haven't counted lately. Turkeys. They don't like the heat, so they are out in the morning and the evening. But in the fall, they're out all day. We raise about 30 head of grass-fed beef. Have a nice flock of sheep behind you. For lamb, lots of chicken. Make a lot of ice cream. That's what most people come in for, scooped ice cream. So everything keeps us really busy on the farm. Go to a few farmers markets, but we mostly sell right from the farm. We process ourselves, which is a big thing that sets us apart from other farms. At Thanksgiving, it's a mad rush. We are processing that week for fresh birds for Thanksgiving. We welcome you. We're happy to, the Cormie's opens in 2 weeks. That's right. That's where we're standing right now. You can't miss that. The cool weather is here, though. It feels like May's weather now. So thank you for coming. Thank you for celebrating agriculture with us. Here's Lynn.
Well, thanks, Katie. And I want to give just a little bit of history about celebrating ag. About 21 years ago, there was a group of people in Woodstock that wanted to give some public thanks to the ag community. And so that was 21 years ago. 20 years ago was the first Celebrate Ag event that was held on the Woodstock Fairgrounds. It's always been held the third Saturday after the Woodstock Fair, so it's always in September. So their mission was to help the local consumer better understand where their food comes from and the many benefits the community receives by having a vibrant local farming community. The Woodstock Fair has been gracious to allow the annual event to be held at the site each of the last 19 years, and Fairview Farms has also been very gracious in allowing us to have an interpreted hayride go through their farm buildings, again, each of the last 19 years. Each year we've added some new activities, but we've always kept a very popular hearty breakfast, which I'm sure many of you have been at many times, right? The hearty breakfast, the farm tour, logging competition, adult and children's activities, and farm equipment displays. Over 50,000 people, and that's probably an understatement, but over 50,000 people have come through the Woodstock Fairgrounds to attend the 19 years of Celebrate Ag. And they continue to get to learn about the many different faces of the Last Green Valley in a family-oriented event. So today we begin the month of September by celebrating agriculture. Not that each of us doesn't celebrate agriculture every day as we enjoy our local food and we enjoy the beautiful scenery that is provided to all of us by the farm community, ag community. But at this time of the year we celebrate ag because this is really whenever the fall harvest starts. So the 20th anniversary event will be a virtual event. And it's going to be interesting. It'll probably be seen by a more varied and a more diverse group and probably more people than the 4,500 that attended last year and have been attending for the past years. So we look forward to this year's Celebrating Ag event. We thank Rebecca Desjardins for her leadership, and be ready to visit and support your local farms, along with watching and contributing your own videos describing the many faces of farming in the Last Green Valley. So thanks for coming today. I'm turn over to the Commissioner.
Thank you, Lynn. And Lynn, thank you for your leadership of providing the stability for every year to keep this going and finding a way to put it on. Celebrating Ag is an event that I've gone to many, many times over the years, my different roles. It's an event that I've brought my kids to and my wife to as a great family day to highlight what's going on in northeastern Connecticut. It's a special day, and to me it was the kickoff of the fall season. It was, the fall harvest. It was really what the county fair model used to be, where you were connected to the local nonprofits, to your local businesses, to your local community members. And that was a really special thing that sometimes we get too far away from, that we had a chance to revisit and recognize. So thank you to Lynn and to the team who has been putting this together over all these years to make sure that my family and the many, many other families had that same experience. We can launch into September and recognize the importance and the contribution of agriculture. Everything is in season right now. You can go to a farmer's market, a farm stand, or the local grocery stores, and there are tons of local fresh products. You can take your family out and go pumpkin picking, or go to a corn maze, or do apple picking. I believe we're still got peaches for another week or so. So there's so many different opportunities this month that people can take to celebrate agriculture. Now this is really just the pronouncement. This is the exclamation mark of we should all do this, and there's many, many ways that we can participate in that. And as we've learned over the past 5-6 months now, COVID-19 has challenged us in ways that we've never had to think about before, that we weren't prepared for necessarily in March, but we've become prepared for. And as I've been doing these events across the state, and especially with Lieutenant Governor, we've been talking about how agriculture continues to adapt, continues to change. As Rick was saying, almost 400 years agriculture's been on this property. You can't do that for 400 years without being innovative and being entrepreneurial and figuring out how to do the next thing. And so Celebrate Ag has taken that to heart this year in COVID, and launching the virtual platform, which is really special, which again, I think as Lynn mentioned, will make sure that more families get to recognize the value and the importance of agriculture to the state's economy than would have been able to join us on that Saturday in September. So it's great that we're all here. Thank you to the organizing committee. Thank you to the Hermonots for being willing to host. It's really special that we have both the governor and lieutenant governor here to celebrate this day and kick this off. And so I want to make sure that they get their time as well. And so, Lieutenant Governor, I turn it over to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you so much, Commissioner, for your leadership. And it is such a pleasure to be in this beautiful spot on this lovely day. I'm a farm girl. I was raised on a farm, a potato farm in Middletown, and so any day that I get to visit a farm is really special for me. And I want to thank the Hermonot family. So just a little less than a year ago, around Thanksgiving time, darn, the governor was busy, and I got to pardon Ella the turkey. And Ella has traveled to another farm, but I do understand that she is thriving. She does yoga every day. She gets her nails done. She is having a great life. And I do want to say that if you have not had the opportunity to visit the Hermonot store, the turkey pies are to die for. I don't know if you have them right now, but it is worth taking a special trip out here for Thanksgiving to get a turkey. Now, Kevin Cunningham, the first selectman in Plainfield, tells me that the ice cream is fantastic. I have not tried that. Looking forward to it yet. But I do want to say that this is a special month to celebrate agriculture. It's really important to our state, and I think we have a special appreciation, having lived through this COVID pandemic, to appreciate the farmers who grow beautiful produce, raise wonderful meats and foods for people in our state to enjoy. So the commissioner has spent a lot of time during the pandemic trying to promote locally grown food, because I think now people in Connecticut always wanted to support local businesses, and agriculture have even more of a reason to do so now. So with that, before I introduce the governor, we have this fabulous official statement from Governor Lamont. Whereas celebrating agriculture is a family-friendly event promoting community education and participation in agriculture, and whereas they encourage consumer purchasing of local farm products throughout the 35 towns of the last Green Valley, and whereas they strive to introduce community members to learn who their farm neighbors are and to enrich and maintain the open space and working farm landscape in the region, and whereas they promote all aspects of forestry, farming, recreational agriculture, and all the other important facets of agriculture, and whereas it is for these reasons that we pause, reflect, and celebrate agriculture's 20th anniversary now. So I'm just going to go ahead and hand that to you, but here's the kicker: that therefore I, Lamont, Governor of the state of Connecticut, in recognition of our proud heritage and bright future, and in honor and support of Connecticut's agricultural community and industry, do hereby officially proclaim September 1st as Celebrating Agricultural Day. So with that, our Governor, Ned Lamont.
Thanks, Susan. Thanks for warming it up. First of all, Rick, Katie, kind of like your office. Want to trade?
We do too.
And watch out, guys. Thanksgiving's around the corner. But I don't know. You've got Idaho potatoes, Arizona iced tea. How about Connecticut turkeys? Russell was telling me, this was a town that had, what'd you say, 40 different dairy farms? Is that it, Heather? Going back a generation or two now? And 30. And now you got one dairy farm and at least one amazing turkey farm. And I'm so glad you're expanding and that land is preserved forever. Because one of the things I love about farming in Connecticut, it's part of our DNA. It's part of our history. And get those kids from Hartford and New Haven out here and show them that food doesn't just appear on the Stop and Shop shelf, where it comes from, what it means to the history of the state, with farms that go back 300 plus years. We had some of the greatest farming in the world here in Connecticut, and it's a part of our heritage. And it's also, as Susan mentioned, some of the learning lessons we've had with COVID, and one of the things was get control of your supply chain. I mean, several months ago, we were just scouring the globe, calling Wuhan. Who would have thought that the only place you could get a mask was China? And the same is true of antibiotics. And I think really long and hard about food. And I want to make sure that Connecticut always has this lifeline. And that your farm right here is part of the Connecticut lifeline. And also what it means about Connecticut Fresh. Katie, some of our farms are different stages, but I think direct to consumer is part of the big future of a farm like this. Showing young people what farming is, making the maize, let them go. Some people like me to go out there and just get lost for a while. And but more importantly, direct to consumer, direct to the farm stands. Lynn was saying some of those farm stands are really desperate right now for farm produce, fresh Connecticut farm. I mean, that is really in hot demand right now, and that's part of our future of agriculture. And so that's why we're here. I don't know, they say it's a virtual event. It looks pretty real to me right here, I'll tell you that. And next year we're all going to be celebrating this with each and every one of you in person, because it's so much a part of our greater Connecticut family. Thanks, everybody. Rick, thank you for inviting us.
Do we have any questions or comments? If not, I'll just put a strong word recommendation in for ice cream. It's a short walk, so you don't feel bad about eating it when you come back to your car. Isn't that right, Rick?
That's right.
So thank you again to the Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Ag Commissioner, Lynn, thank you. And of course, Rick and Katie, thank you so much for hosting us here today. So here we are. We are officially launched our month-long celebration of celebrating agriculture for our 20th anniversary. So throughout the month, videos will be dropped on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, and those are linked on our website, celebratingagriculture.com. We'll be using the hashtag celebratingag20. So look for that, or even upload your favorite memories. You know, you said you've been at past events. Let's see those pictures. Let's see how you celebrate agriculture. You know, something that we can take for granted, either working in agriculture or living in a community like this, when we get stuck behind a tractor on a back road, is that everyone knows what agriculture is about. And that's not the case. So I think we take that for granted living in this area. And I would encourage you to continue to celebrate where we live and share that with people who are not able to experience these beautiful scenes and live animals and fresh produce on a daily basis. You know, I like to say that agriculture is the food we eat and the clothes we wear. Everyone is touched by agriculture. So I also want to end with just an invitation and a challenge to you to look at your habits inside of your home and your business, and how are you supporting local agriculture. And maybe this month, seek out a new place for some agritourism, or a new farmer's market, or a new place to get your fresh food, and then turn that into a habit. Or consider looking up your local ag commission and attend a meeting. See what the people in agriculture are talking about. Support your local 4-H clubs and FFA students, and support ag education, because they're the future. And if we want to be sustainable for ourselves and conscious of our food chain, it starts with those kids in the next generation. So thank you all so much for joining us as we kick off this month in celebrating agriculture, and go out and celebrate. Thank you.